All right, Alesha Zappitella, we're doing the post-fight talk and the shout-outs, you know, friends, family, sponsors, everything all together. I mean, I don't know if you want to look at me while we do this or if you want to just look into the camera. You can do either or. But first, before we get into that, describe last night. You made your Invicta debut. Just tell the world what it was like, what it felt like, you know.
Last night was amazing. Last night was amazing. It felt so great to make my Invicta debut, and then to go out there and win in the fashion that I did. Honestly, it's indescribable. I'm so excited to get back in the cage. I mean, I just fought last night, but I'm hungry for more.
Yeah, I know. I actually saw that they have a card September 1st for Invicta, and I said, I know for a fact Alesha would jump on that card in a heartbeat if they offered us a fight.
Yeah.
You know, I doubt we'll get back to action that quickly, but hopefully, you know, before the end of the year, you're definitely competing again, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody thought you were going to come out, take the girl down, use your wrestling, and you showed just really heavy hands last night, and you were letting your shots go. Describe what made you make that decision? What did you think about that backstage? Was it just part of a talk that we had about, like, you know, get in there and see how you're feeling? Like, how did you just come out guns blazing last night and win the fight in that style?
Well, before the fight, I told myself that, you know, I repeated the things that Mindset Mike has us say, you know, I'm aggressive and relentless. Before the fight, I decided that I was going to go in and I was going to take the fight to her. And I was going to feel out wherever I felt most comfortable. And when I was landing on my feet, like, I felt like a striker in that moment. And I felt like I could outstrike this girl. So I was going to keep it where I was comfortable. I mean, she pulled guard and I was still really, really comfortable on top. But I was okay with wherever the fight was. So I just kind of kept my head in the game and kept going. I don't know.
And I feel like it's been a long time coming because you've been asking to let your striking, you know, go in your fights for a while. And as your coach, I kept saying, no, use your wrestling, take these girls down, beat them up on the floor, you know. But now I really feel like you just showed you're a triple threat because you have the jiu-jitsu, you've won multiple jiu-jitsu tournaments, you've shut out good grapplers. You obviously qualified for the World Team Trials for wrestling. Everybody knows you for your wrestling. Mm-hmm. And now you're throwing bombs at people on the feet. So you've really shown that you're a well-rounded mixed martial artist. Ideally, now that you just won your Invicta debut, technically, you know, you have won no contest, but you're basically a 5-0 professional MMA fighter, 4-0 on record. I saw you're jumping through the ranks. What do you think is next for you? Do you know anybody in the Invicta roster that's kind of on your radar? Or just what type of fight are you looking for next?
So my next fight for Invicta, I will fight anybody that they give me. Honestly, I would like to see a contender fight, someone else who's very high in the ranks. I would like to take on and prove that I am ready for a belt fight.
Do you think fighting Jillian DeCourcy was actually a lot better for your career? Because she was on an 8-fight winning streak. She's a brown belt. She's undefeated. She had her professional debut for Invicta and then won another fight for Invicta. So she was already taking out the girls in your division. So she stepped up, and I feel like it was a higher profile fight. What was that like psychologically, preparing for, you know, knowing that we had a much tougher fight on our hands, but also what do you think that does for your career, you know, now that you beat her?
At first it was a little bit nerve-wracking knowing that I was going to be going against a much tougher girl, but honestly, it was a blessing in disguise because going out, making my Invicta debut against one of the girls who's already taking out other girls on the roster and making her way up the ranks, it was perfect for me to make my Invicta debut in such a stylish fashion and just show Invicta that I'm here and I'm ready to compete and I'm with the best of them.
Absolutely. So anyone that's tuning in and watching this broadcast live, if you want to ask some questions, I'll gladly, you know, send them over to Alesha and just let her interact with her fans a little bit. And then we're going to obviously shout out our sponsors. You know what, while people are posting questions, why don't we do that? I see you brought your shirt down with you. You had a lot of people support you for this fight, which was wonderful. People from all over, people that know you, you know, locally, and people that kind of remember you from wrestling or your childhood or your family. You know, so why don't you go through your sponsor list real quick? Let's get that out of the way, and then we'll take some questions from people.
All right. I want to thank all of my sponsors. It means so much to me that you guys are believing in me and seeing that, you know, that I have so much potential. It means a lot to me. But I brought my shirt down to give just give me a little bit of help, and here, so you guys can see it. But I just want to thank Evergreen Lake Park. They've been with me since the beginning, since my first national tournament ever. Thank you guys. It means the world to me. Todd Nassif at Nassif Honda. Young Living with Paul. Breakwall Barbecue. If you haven't been there and you're in Ohio or Pennsylvania, definitely stop in. It's the best barbecue you'll ever have. Clay Street Grill. Harbor Tattoo. Anderson Crew and Flooring. Griff Ellis. The CJ Berry Group. Thank you, Chris Berry. He's also one of my teammates. And then Campbell Precision and Tool. Thank you all. It means a lot.
That's what I'm saying. And what a team at your back. Just that many people supporting you so early on while you're just now making waves. I mean, how old are you, Alesha?
23.
You're 23 years old now. Regarded, I would say, after all this, you'll be in the top, 20, 30 atom weights on the planet. You know what I mean? At 23 years old, so much room to grow. As your coach, I noticed a different aura from you, though. This entire week, there was a different Alesha that I was around. Something has been changing with you. I can't really put my finger on it exactly. I think I kind of know what you're doing, but talk about that a little bit. What just led to what we all witnessed last night?
I feel like in the past, I've had a lot of me problems, and this entire fight camp has really just about been not even just about evolving my game, just evolving myself as a human being, and just becoming the best me that I can. This entire week, I was reading. I was, just reading books to get my mindset right. I've been doing that the entire fight camp. Honestly, I feel like becoming so much of a better person, and just being thankful and grateful for everything that I have has just helped me tremendously. Like, even in the fight game, like, people may not realize it, but your mindset with life and the way that you feel about life, honestly, it changes the way you fight. Like, going in there, I was confident. I knew that I was the best me, and no matter what, win or lose, I was going to go out and I was going to give it my all, and I was going to be happy with the end result, no matter what.
It showed. I didn't see a second of frustration. I didn't see any doubt. Even if Jillian landed a shot, it honestly just excited you more. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like the bully mentality that you carried. It didn't matter what was happening in the fight. That never changed. You were just like, this is who I am. This is what I bring to the table, and I'm going to smash you. So anyone that's tuning in, like I said, if you want to ask Alesha a question while we're here live, I'm sure she'll go back and answer questions that come in later. I don't know if I have the best service, so I don't know if all the questions will come in, but I see a lot of people are tuning in. Oh yeah, I see somebody saying we need to push for atom weight in the UFC. I've been hoping for that forever. You know what I mean? Really, for women, it helps round out the divisions, because the 45 division is not that filled in the UFC. They legitimately only had 15 and 35 for a while. Now 25's coming along. But it would be like having the men's weight classes and not including 25 and 35. 105 women bring it. They're aggressive. They're relentless. So hopefully we do see the UFC atom weights in. Maybe you can even win the Invicta title before that takes place.
Oh, definitely. Like, I will. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I will be the first UFC champion in the atom weight division. I will be. It's what it is. And if I can get the Invicta belt before then, it's just another belt added to the collection. I'm excited.
Someone said, what if you knew there's a little niece named Stella who wants to grow up and be just like you? What would you tell her?
I would tell her to follow her dreams, and don't let anybody tell her that she can't, especially if their name is Lance. Talk to me, because she can do anything that she wants to do. And that's the same for any young girl out there. They can do anything that they set their mind to. Don't let anyone tell you that they can't.
That's awesome. And the thing is, you really are going to be a role model now and like an inspiration to a lot of young girls, because you were the girl that kind of overcame the odds. You wrestled your whole life growing up. Talk about that. How did you get started with your wrestling? Why did you stick with it? What was your record against the men in high school?
In high school, I believe I was 147 and like 20 something. So I had almost 150 wins against men and against boys in high school. I think I may have wrestled maybe one girl the entire time that I was in high school. What was the rest of the question?
Oh no, it's just like overcoming all those odds. That's built you up to be who you are.
Oh, definitely.
And like it's cool to hear you tell other young girls like don't give up, don't quit, because obviously if you gave up, you've hit bumps in the road. You know what I mean? But like, what does this moment feel like? Sitting here, waking up this morning, realizing you just walked out to Invicta last night and smashed. Like, how do you feel?
I feel so amazing. I'm getting so much support, so many messages from everybody, and it means so much to me just to see like the amount of support that I'm getting from everybody. Wrestling really did shape me to be the person that I am, and I don't know. I have to thank all my coaches that have helped me throughout the years. That didn't let me quit, because I remember being like 7 years old and telling my parents that I wanted to quit, and them telling me that if I wanted to stop at the end of the season, I could, but I'm not a quitter, and I was not going to quit in the middle of the season. And I'm so happy that they talked me out of that, because I just wanted to quit because it got hard. And, that pushed me to being the person that does not quit when things get hard. When things get hard, I go harder. Like last night when Jillian landed a couple good punches, all right, I'm just going to come at her harder. I can't let her show that it's getting to me, so.
Absolutely. It showed, and I try to stress that to the people. Like, there's so many people that want to be successful, especially in like combat sports, but when it's at that point where they don't know if they're going to make it, they want it right now. They don't want to wait anymore. They feel entitled that it's like, why am I not there yet? It's like, you got to tell them that, listen, just keep grinding, because like it's worth it when you get here.
Oh,
the feeling
definitely.
that you're having today, the way you'll, move forward, and the person that you're becoming, it's worth that struggle.
Oh, it's so worth it. I mean, last night I wanted the fight. I wanted the grind. I wasn't going out there expecting anything less, and I enjoyed every second of it.
And Elizabeth Lauren said, are you planning on any wrestling camps back home? I know we can get the Cougars wrestling room open for you.
Just tell me a date, give me a month, and I will gladly do a camp back home.
And maybe we'll even throw one at Cyclone too, for all the people that saw you fight on Invicta that want to come out and meet you in person. If you don't know, Alesha Zappitella runs a wrestling practice for youth and adults Monday through Thursday right at SFS. So you can literally come in and train with Alesha and another fantastic coach, Buddy Pointer. So that's the other cool thing is, like, people forget you're just a regular person. You show up to the gym, you work hard like everybody. They can just come in and train alongside you, and that's pretty cool. All right, so I guess we will wrap this thing up soon, unless I can see. Are there any other questions? Oh yeah, there are a couple on your stream. That's awesome. Well, there's a lot of just congratulations, and they just say, Coach Alesha paving the way for young girls. You got the Renegades supporting you, you got Cyclone, you got SFS, you got a whole squad. The Midwest is behind you, let's say that. Yeah. So if one final thing I'd like you to do, if you could send a message to like Shannon Knapp, Caitlin Young, the team at Invicta about like, what you want next, or like, just give me an opportunity, just send that message to them. I'll make sure they end up seeing this, and and let's wrap this up and go enjoy the day before we fly out.
All right. Shannon Knapp, Caitlin Young, and the rest of the Invicta team, I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and believing in me enough just to give me this opportunity. I want to stay active. I want to keep fighting as often as you let me. And I would like to have a contender fight. Give me one of the best girls in the division, because I'm right up there with them. Actually, I'm the best. I just haven't shown it yet. The world doesn't know. I know. I am the best. Let me prove it.
There we go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, please share the video. Get the word out. Let's let her celebrate her time, and then back to the grind and back to helping all the other girls around you, you know what I mean? Like, we have a crazy squad at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
So now you can get back to work and be like, girls, like, sometimes it's tough. Sometimes you get knocked down. Sometimes it's like, why am I not? But it's worth it. It's worth it being here.
It's worth every second of it.
All right, so we'll wrap it up, and thank you for tuning in, guys.